is just fantastic. Captain's log, subdate 210420.8. So as to reduce any chance of contraband getting into the cubes, we've started transporting Neutraloaf via site-to-site transport. The inmates seem to think that we're being a tad harsh. I maintain that we could do more, so there will be updates to follow. Welcome everyone to the Halls of Injustice. Today we have inmate number 069. Kandice Barber, a 35-year-old from Wendover, Buckinghamshire. She's also formerly a teacher, so I'm almost certain you now know where this is going. It's not rocket science, and within this series there is a theme. By extension, there's now a wing. Teachers that commit the exact same crime, all of whom are female. All articles though refer to this as sex with, if it wasn't obvious enough. But sex is not the correct word. For the story I'm about to tell, we have to go back to the 1st of September 2020, and this one involves a retrial, which is quite fascinating to me. At a sports event evening on the 27th of September 2018, Kandice Barber approached a male student who at the time was 15 years old and asked to borrow his phone. After using his phone, she then put her details into his Snapchat and initiated contact via DMs. These DMs included talking about herself being, for example, in the bath and/or shower. Not long after this, she drove with him to a secluded field and raped him. Now, all articles on this do reference sex. They are inaccurate. After this, she would send the boy topless pictures, because he's seen it all, so a pair of norks will do the trick. The two continue to send messages, till just after the boy turns 16, which has been confirmed in a police interview with a child abuse team, being quoted as saying, "I lied because she had told me she could be pregnant with my child and I began to panic. I lied to pretty much everyone except my friends. She said that if I was going to snitch on her basically, she was going to bring me down with her. I was like, are you going to accuse me of rape? She was like, ... Obviously I got angry and I did not talk to her after that. She had in fact suggested that she would accuse him of raping her. Just take a moment to work out how the 15-year-old managed to rape the 35-year-old. Another reason that communication between the two ceased was because rumours were circulating around the school that Kandice Barber had in fact taken advantage of that student. Also, those topless pictures that she sent to him, which he had not circulated himself and was proven as such, were doing their rounds around the school, going so far as to reach the desk of the headmaster, with Kandice Barber initially trying to deny that she had sent those pictures to anyone, and they had simply been stolen because her phone had been hacked. On the 12th of March 2020, Kandice Barber was arrested, and during an interview she produced a prepared statement where she had denied having sex with the boy, claiming that her pregnancy was widely known around the school, although she later did lose that baby. A social worker the following day went to her home and assessed her, but during that visit, Kandice Barber apparently couldn't keep her mouth shut long enough for the social worker to leave, with the prosecuting, when this went to trial, stating, Mrs. Barber told the social worker that she had started to talk to the boy in September 2018 on Snapchat. He had befriended her first. She denied having sexual intercourse with the boy but did admit to sending the boy a picture of herself topless. She said she was going through a bad patch with her husband, that she was pregnant but lost the child. They wanted another, but it was not happening. Things were strained between her and her husband. The boy paid her attention and she let her guard down and started to talk to him. I'm starting to smell victim blaming. I can't be the only one. Kandice Barber was charged with causing a child under 16 to engage in sexual activity, sexual communication with a child, causing a child to engage in sexual activities while in a position of trust, and making a child watch a sexual act by a person in a position of trust. When under cross-examination, because obviously this went to trial, I've already stated it twice already, Kandice Barber's main defense was her Snapchat account must have been hacked. Also, when the boy was questioned about why he didn't come forward sooner, he pointed out that he did not want his child to be born in prison because she had convinced him that it was his. She already has kids, by the way, with her husband, so this one's a bit strange that she was so desperate to have another, which sounds like a really weird comment for me to make, but it turns out she actually was trying to have more children, which handily leads on to an ex-boyfriend who pointed out that she was a very frisky young lady who demanded sex 6 times a day, and that one of the reasons they broke up was because he couldn't cope with her huge sex drive. With that original trial, she was found guilty of sending topless pictures of herself to the boy, but was acquitted of causing or inciting a child to engage in sexual activities while in a position of trust. But when it came to the more serious charges, the jury was unable to reach a verdict, which meant this would have to go back to trial, which I found really fascinating. I've been holding on to sources for this one since September. I've been waiting for this one. I have a sell for her. On January 28th, 2021, after a retrial, brand new jury, pretty much the same arguments brought forward though, with a little twist here and there. Nothing too major, certainly nothing worth addressing. Kandice Barber was found guilty of everything. I love retrials. This isn't like Double Jeopardy. I love it. Especially because she was proven to have done all of these things. Gavin Holmes, the man defending Kandice Barber, begged the judge to allow her to return home ahead of sentencing as an act of humanity so she could homeschool her children. Kandice Barber was also warned custody is inevitable. Her husband Daniel, even after the first trial, and this time, was angry, calling both of them a joke, but also saying he will stand by his wife because he's a loyal simp. For the sake of it, I do want to point out 2 charges of causing or inciting a child to engage in sexual activity she was cleared of, but all 4 of the remaining charges, she was found guilty. Until sentencing though, the judge decided she will be remanded in custody until February the 15th, 2021. So let's go to that date, shall we? For the 4 charges that she was found guilty of, she was convicted and sentenced to a total of 6 years and 2 months. The prosecutor then, David Povell, summarized a victim impact statement from the young boy, who has said he faced stress and anxiety as a result of the incident and going through 2 trials. He was at school, and it was through his presence at school that he came into contact with this defendant, who was working there in a position of trust. He feels that his GCSE results were not as good as they could have been, in part as a result of the impact of these incidents on him. As a result of his poorer than expected results, he had to leave the good school he was attending and go to a 6th form college where none of his friends were. In summary, he says that the defendant who was supposed to help students make the right decisions instead helped him to make all the wrong decisions. Chances are with this particular case, Kandice Barber will be out in 3 years, more than likely less, and as she was a supply teacher, it is unlikely she'll be allowed to go anywhere near a school again. My view, obviously, you took advantage of a minor. The sentence is life. Get in your cube. You're not coming out anytime soon. Enjoy the Nutriloaf. Today it's made out of cat turds. As we're done, I'd like to know what you all think. There is a whole mountain of sources listed below. About 9. So a mountain of 9. Please do let me know in the comments down below. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you all very much for listening.